Okay, good evening, friends. Welcome to the PANSIGHT webinar. Without any delay, let me start the session. I assume the slide is visible and I'm audible. Today's topic, time savers and time wasters. Let me start with a few quotations. Time is what we want most, but what we use worst. William Penn. And he lived in the 18th century. He's a French philosopher. Again, this person also lived in the 17th century. Those who make the worst use of their time are the first to complain of its shortness. People who say, I am busy, I don't have the time. Usually, if you observe, you'll be surprised to see that they don't use the time effectively. If you agree with this observation, please put in the chat box, yay. And let us have an interactive session as always, so that we must be on the same page. Agree. Thank you. Harvey Mackay. He has authored many books. He's still alive. He's 92 years old. Time is free, but it is priceless. It is invaluable. You cannot put a price for the time. You can't own it, but you can use it. You cannot keep it, but you can spend it. That is, either you use it or you lose it. If you don't use that time, you are going to lose that one. Once you have lost it, you can never get it back. Do you like this quotation? If you like it, put L in the chat box. I like this quotation very much. I want to know whether you also like this quotation. Thank you. Roy Cherian, Santosh, like it. From this webinar, you can learn 4 things. 1, what are time savers? 2, how to stop time wasters. 3, how to boost efficiency. Lastly, how to achieve work-life balance. As always, my webinars are based on FEQT, facts, experience. That is where I usually share my experience in the form of stories, real life stories. Then quotations, thoughts. Numerous books on time savers and time wasters. I'm going to show you just a few titles. 1, time saver. 2, time saving kitchen tips. I don't know how many ladies are here today. Women, they waste a lot of time in the kitchen. Lot of time. Tips. I save a lot of time. There is no need to cook food every day. Oh, some people say, oh, I like only fresh food. Oh, fresh, my husband always wants something fresh. The children also, they want only fresh. Come on, give me a break. These days, many people go to the mall and go to the McDonald's or KFC. Do you get anything fresh there? Already cooked, and it is maybe 2 weeks or 1 month old, kept in the freezer. They warm it and you eat it, no problem. But at home, you waste your time saying that only fresh. Am I right? If I am right, put R in the chat box, my dear friends. Because I have used the language a bit strongly. Am I right? Right. Okay. Sanal right. Yes, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Now, what do I do? If I make put, this is that puttukutti. I make 2 puttukutti, a put, and that is last for 5 days or 5 servings. So I make it on Monday. I don't have to cook anything till Friday. I leave it in the refrigerator and I warm it using the microwave oven. And if I make idli, 24 idlis. 4 idlis a day, 6 days. Making sambar, 5 days. Chicken curry, 5 days. Rice, 5 days. Dear friends, ladies, please. In USA, many ladies, they don't cook every day. Only in India, that culture has to change. In USA, they usually do the cooking on the weekend. On the weekend, they cook on Saturday or Sunday. They put it in the freezer. They heat it. That's how. So time saver. This one, my dear friends, do you find this tip very useful? If you find it really useful, put you in the chat box. Because I want to help you. I am not here to. That is give a talk which is useless. Okay, Rajeshri, thank you. And I have been doing this for nearly 30 years. I'm in good health. No problem. So those are all the mindset. That is, if you don't eat fresh food, it is not good. And again, I eat cooked food, breakfast and lunch. Evening, uncooked food. Some fruits, some nuts, some seeds, and yogurt. That's it. And stop wasting time. Definition of the term time saver. Something designed to or planned to reduce the time required to do something. I will explain later with the real life examples. Time waster. Spending a lot of time doing something that is unnecessary or unproductive. Doing activities inefficiently. I use the word inefficiently. I'm going to ask you a question now. Do you know the difference between the words effectiveness and efficiency? If you don't know, put in the chat box yen. Because you need to have a clear understanding of what is effectiveness and what is efficiency. If you don't know, put N in the chat box, my dear friends. I will explain. Yen, Roy Chiranji, Yen. Okay, Sanakor, Yen. Okay. Effectiveness is doing the right thing in the right way to get the right results. Doing the right thing the right way for right results. Efficiency. Doing that one using minimum amount of resources. What are the resources we need for any activity? Time. Invariably, time is a resource. And energy. Money. Manpower. For example, we have bulb at home, I'm sure. I'm going to give you a real life, simple, easily understandable example. In the past, we used to have ordinary lamp bulb, 100-watt bulb. Now you have LED bulb. What's the difference? Same output. LED bulb is the other one, 100 watts of that brightness, power. But LED consumes less energy. So you can save a lot of money. So that is efficiency. And suppose I want a copier. I'm working in I'm a busy practice. A photocopier. Yeah, photocopier is available, say, for $50. It can copy At a time, 10 copies per minute. 10 copies. Another copier, 20 copies per minute. Another one, 50 copies per minute. And if I have a lot of stuff to be copied, this 10 copy also effective. Yeah, it does the job. Yeah, it does the job. Yes. But the 20, 50, efficiency more. You can save a lot of time. Are these examples clear? If they are clear, put C in the chat box. This is very important. Efficiency and effectiveness. Thank you, Kumari. Many people, they don't know the difference. I'm a person who puts a lot of importance on efficiency. You don't get time. You create time. She's an Indian from Assam. She has authored few books. Do you want me to give examples, real life examples to explain that one? You don't get time, you create time. If you want, say, explain. Yes. Okay. For example, as I told you, I create more time by making that puttu to kuti, so that on the next 4 days, I have created more time, free time. And at work also, I create more time by being very efficient. How did I do that one? In the hospital, they have electronic medical records. The template already there, 4 pages. The template was designed by a non-medical person. And these doctors, most of them are not computer savvy. I am not very computer savvy, but I am much better than many people. So 4 pages to complete the notes and everything, it takes 10 minutes. And in my hospital, usually 15 patients are scheduled. 15 patients. The work time is from morning 8 to 4:30. I'm giving a real life example so that I'll be able to motivate you, persuade you to follow the way I have been doing things. 8 to 4:30. Identical workload. Identical the paper administrative workload also after seeing the patients. I was the only guy, yes, with all pride, only guy who used to go there always at least 1 minute before 8 o'clock. In this country, in my state, from 10 to 15 days, there will be heavy snowing. Or other days, there will be freezing rain. But not even once is it time management. Then I was the only guy who used to leave by 4:30 after finishing all work. In my clinic, there are 14 doctors. Other doctors, some of them would stay there till 7 o'clock. That is 25%. Another 25% till 6:30. There are no patients. Patients scheduling, everything is over by 3:30. Then some doctors till 6, then 5:30. I finish the work in 8.5 hours. The others sometimes go up to 11 hours. Where is the work-life balance? Do they get paid overtime? Nothing. And they don't find the time to spend with their family or social life. Completely screwed up. What did I do? 4 pages. I went through that 4 pages of template. I found most of them are irrelevant, unnecessary. So I redesigned a template, 2 pages only. And then I took that one to the coding and billing section chief. I asked him, come on, this I redesigned. Tell me whether this one is okay. Then he went through that one. He said, yeah, fine, no problem. 2 pages. So instead of 10 minutes, only 5 minutes. So 15 patients, 15 into 5 minutes, 75 minutes. That is 1 hour and 15 minutes. I was able to save by doing one simple change. I shared that template with others. What happened? None of them. Because the doctor community, most of them are IAS people, ignorant, arrogant, and stupid. Most of them. Yeah, they continue with the same template. They stayed there till 7 o'clock. So reduce that one. So that I created more time by cutting down work. Is this example clear and convincing? If it is clear and convincing, put CC in the chat box. Thank you. Yes, I am not a person who talks about theoretical stuff. Only if I have tried something and if I have succeeded, then only I will come and share or talk about a topic. Dr. Jayachandran, thank you. All time wasters, one meetings. Meetings. In USA, they usually call it meetingitis, tonsillitis, pharyngitis, bronchitis, the same way, meetingitis. They schedule meetings. The supervisors, they don't have to see the patients. They don't have to take care of the patient. And they enjoy talking, listening to their own voice. 1 hour will be wasted, unproductive. And there was one supervisor, she had MBA also, MD and MBA. She would schedule meeting. 30, that is usual work time is 8 to 4:30. She will make a mandatory meeting 7:30. Mandatory, so you have to go. She won't send the agenda beforehand. And when you enter the room, on the table there will be agenda, 18 items. 30 minutes, 18 items. And 18 items, the most important urgent items are in the bottom. Useless and irrelevant, they are in the top. After discussing only 4 items, the time is up, we go to the clinic. Did we accomplish anything in those meetings? Nothing. Unproductive. Time waster. This is a real example. And 3 or 4 times, I requested her to send the agenda on the previous day because we don't know what the meeting is about. So we go there without any preparation. Did she change? No, always. That is the way some people, when they get the power, they misuse and abuse and waste the time of everybody else. There's one example of meetings. Multitasking. I'll come to this one later. Distractions and interruptions. I'm sharing a lot of this one from my own personal life. The very same thing you can apply anywhere, in any other profession. Distraction at work. Here in USA, if you are seeing a patient, if you are with a patient, you have to keep the door closed. Privacy. And when there are no patients, if you are free or in between, you keep the door open. Then what happens? Those are walking along the corridor. They may be support staff, nurses or some clerks, or when they see you sitting there without a patient, then, hi doctor, how are you? How was your weekend? Did you go anywhere? Okay, that is small talk, social talk, 5 to 10 minutes, gone. Then there will be delay. The patient scheduled appointment, you won't be able to see that patient on time. Like that. I always used to keep my door closed, whether I am with a patient or without a patient. So I wouldn't allow anybody to get inside and interrupt or distract. And meanwhile, I'll be working on the whatever pending job, paperwork, administrative, that one. So that is also a practical tip. Keep the door closed. Emails, My approach was email. Some people, they check email every hour. And they allow the email to pop up as a notification. When they are seeing a patient, in the desktop, email pops up. That's a distraction. Then they'll be tempted to again open that email. That is why some of these they don't finish seeing a patient. We get 30 minutes, my dear friends, here to see a patient. In India, you won't get more than 5 or 10 minutes. In spite of that, these guys are so inefficient. I turned off the email notification. Simple thing. I suggested this to my friends. No. See, it may be something important. Maybe important. Always that email notification distraction. I used to, first thing in the morning when I go there, in the first 5 minutes, quickly go through the emails, which I think that I need to review. 5 minutes. Then during the lunch break, again email. Then at the end of the day, 3 times only. Not every hour. Keep on checking. Just like the WhatsApp also. Some people keep on checking every 15 minutes. Am I right? If I'm right, put R in the chat box. These pop-up notifications, yeah, Rajeshwari ji, stop that one. Sometimes even with the audio, ting, 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 these are all distractions. Perfectionism. I don't need to explain. Perfectionism, a lot of time will be wasted. I don't. If there are some, God has not created everything perfect. The world, earth is created by God. Ups and downs, hills and valleys. Is there any perfection? No. Then why the hell do we need to bother about the perfection? It consumes a lot of time. Waste. Inability to delegate. This is what thing. At work also, one of my friends, a doctor from Mangalore, we are expected to inform the patients about the lab results, notify them. If the lab results are normal, okay, tell them normal. You don't have to do anything. If there is a cholesterol level is high, inform them, I have increased the dose of that one. Or diabetes, blood sugar is high, that's our responsibility. Responsibility to notify, inform them. Nowhere it says that the doctor should inform. It says the patient should be notified. I used to always delegate that one to my nurses. I send a quick note. Okay, please inform the patient that his lab results are normal, nothing to be changed. Cholesterol. But I have another friend. This guy, he wouldn't delegate that one. He would take a printout of the lab result. And then he write a note. And then he put inside an envelope. And he will stick that one. The stamp, the hospital pays for the stamp. And he spends for notification of the lab results more than 1 hour every day. And he stays for 11 hours. Do you agree that is stupidity? If you agree that is stupidity, put yes in the chat box. That is stupidity, not delegating that task, a simple task. That is stupidity, yes. Right? And he also complains, oh, there's a lot of workload, man. See, I feel tired. I feel burnout. Yeah, you feel tired, you feel burnout because you are not delegating. You are doing everything which you don't have to do. There are numerous examples. For want of time, I'm not getting into that one. I can give a talk on this topic for 20 hours with so many real-life examples. Okay, now, fear of criticism. Yeah. They sit and think. What will others think? What will they say? Without doing something, you keep on thinking, worrying about criticism. Learn from the politicians. They say many even stupid nonsense things. Do they worry about the criticism every day? Millions of people in the social media, this media trolling and everything. They don't care. Certain lessons we must learn from the politicians. Let them criticize if they want to criticize. I don't care. Lack of self-confidence. Another root cause. Self-confidence comes when you have the right kind of a knowledge and skills. If you don't have the knowledge, if you don't have the skills, you don't have the self-confidence. When you don't have the self-confidence, you won't do. You will procrastinate. You will delay, postpone it, postpone it. Am I right? If I'm right, put R in the chat box. I want to know whether whatever I'm sharing is something in real life applicable. So self-confidence, boost the self-confidence. There's no shortcut for that one. Inability to think well. This is comes. Thinking is a skill which we don't learn from the formal education. Formal education makes you mug up, memorize certain information, and the examination, it tests your ability to, your memory power, retain, multiple choice, your response. That is it. They don't teach us how to think. Am I right? If I am right, put R in the chat box. But the politicians, they learned a lot about the thinking skills from the school of life, real life. They are very good thinkers. I learned a lot of this one about the thinking skills. 1985. 1985, I accidentally came across a book called Whole Brain Thinking. Some 300, 350 pages. Then only I realized, okay, left brain thinking, right brain thinking, how to this one, what to do, everything. Then my life changed. I was able to think well. So my dear friends, invest your time. I use the word invest, not spend your time. Invest your time in boosting your thinking skill. Inability to plan well. It goes along with that one. Inability to say no. Overcommitment. Overcommitment. If somebody says that, okay, my daughter's wedding is on this day, on Saturday, okay? Will you come? Oh, yes. Then what happens? You may have other activities to do or some work is to be done, but you have said yes. So you go there and that work gets delayed. Learn to say no in a diplomatic way. Thank you for inviting me. I'm sorry that day I won't be able to come. I wish that is all. My blessings are there. And on some other day, I will visit you. That is it. That's what I do. I don't say yes. At work also, if I have other things to do, I'll say, I'm sorry. I cannot. I'm otherwise committed. Learn to say no. Is this a simple one, what I have shared with you? Simple and easy? If it is easy, put E. I am not sharing anything difficult or impossible. But if you say yes, then they may count you also for that wedding. They will order one more that dish, wastage of food also. And they may be angry. Subsequently, you have to say many lies. Oh, that day I wanted to come, but my son fell sick. Oh, though this happened. Then you have to lie. Why do you want to lie later on? Just tell them upfront, hey, thank you for inviting me. I'm sorry. But I will, one of these days, I will visit. And my blessings are there with you. That's it. Lastly, inability to communicate well. And today, during the discussion, we have Father Nelson has joined. He will share on the experience just that with 3 days back because of the failure to communicate well, how it cost his time. Real life story. Father Nelson is here. He will share that one. If I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was good at thinking and planning. When he was a lawyer, the opposing party lawyer, if he talks the closing argument or opening argument for say half an hour or 45 minutes, Abraham Lincoln used to just 10 minutes or 5 minutes. That's all. Abraham Lincoln. And he used to win. Most of the time, he used to win. Judges also love an attorney who keeps it very brief. The other guy talks. The judge may get bored. Judge may even lose track of what the other guy was talking about. It was Abraham Lincoln because of his thinking skill. Democracy, definition. Democracy, government of the people, by the people, for the people. Abraham Lincoln. So think, instead of immediately rushing to do something, think and plan. How can I make it? How can I make it more effective, efficient? That's what I do. Any activity, even for shopping also. Okay, I have to buy some items from the Indian grocery store, maybe turmeric, chili powder, other items. And I have to buy banana. That is not, ordinary banana is not available in the Indian store. And I may want to buy avocado. That is also not available in the Indian store. And I may want to buy a bread that is not available in the Indian store. But they are available to Walmart is available. Another one is Aldi. There are many Walmart, Aldi there, but I plan. There is one area where Walmart, Aldi, and Indian store, they are within 1 mile radius. Within 1 mile. So I go for the shopping there so that I don't have to spend a lot of time driving and going to different places. So I do the shopping. Yes, everything is done. That is thinking and planning. Good rapport is a time saver. Multitasking blocks rapport building. Earlier I told you about the multitasking. Doctor-patient relationship. Trust. Mutual trust, especially the patients, if they trust the doctor, then what happens? They won't ask many questions. They don't trust. They will ask a lot of questions. Each question you have to give time consuming. And if they trust you, whatever you give, even if you give plain water, that will work. Placebo effect. They trust you. And if you don't order an investigation, you don't have to spend a lot of time explaining. I'm a minimalist. I don't do multitasking because many doctors, okay, they'll be on the computer, they'll be looking at it, and in between they'll be looking at the cell phone when the patient is narrating his symptoms. The doctor, and the patient won't get the satisfaction that the doctor listened to him well. Am I right? If you are a patient, you are sitting, while you are talking to me as a doctor, then if I look at this one and then if I keep on scroll all these things, will you feel satisfied? You may repeat what you said because you may assume that I was not listening. So you may repeat what you said again. Everything is time consuming. I don't do the multitasking. Phone, always at work, silent mode. If there is no urgent thing, if there is something urgent, they will contact me. They will reach me some other way through the phone, the other phone, land phone. Sky is not going to fall down. Then I don't look at the computer screen while the patient is talking, always. I revolving chair, I look at the patient. Oh, I see. Okay. Then if I'm typing again, frequently, my body language, I look at them. I repeat what they said. Oh, 2 days you are having. Okay. So they get this satisfaction. Yes, he listened to me. Then at the end, when I say, you don't need an X-ray now. Because right now, nothing to worry. It's not a pneumonia. You don't need an X-ray. Or headache, you don't need a CAT scan. Nobody has questioned me why I don't need a CAT scan. Because first, they know that this guy, he listened to me very well. And some of the feedback, compliments also, I received written compliments. Dr. Reddiar is a very good listener. So by not doing the multitasking, I gain, that is the confidence and trust that saves a lot of time. The same thing always. When your children are talking to you, don't do the multitasking. Listen to them at that time. Do you agree? If you agree, put A in the chat box. That's what I did. Agree. Yeah. Thank you, Reddiar. Because of that, with the patient rapport, I was the only doctor out of the whole hospital and satellite, there 40 doctors. I was the only doctor who received more than 10 nominations from the patients for excellent customer service. Most of them, they complimented me for my listening skills. No multitasking. Multitasking I do when, if I am cooking, yeah, at the same time I will be talking to Father Nelson, or if I am eating some food also, I may be talking to the Father Nelson. Multitasking. I may be listening to a song. That's okay. Your greatest asset is your earning ability. Your greatest resource is your time management. For your information, I don't know whether one Mr. Raju, who is from the VSSC, retired scientist, is here today. He told me in one of the corporate hospitals in Trivandrum, one newborn neonatologist, his appointment for the patient is 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So in 6 hours, 5 minutes is 12 patients in an hour. 6 hours, 72 patients. And he charges 700 rupees for consultation. So you can multiply and see how much he makes a day. 5 minutes. And I asked this guy, very satisfied when, yes. Oh. Because that doctor is very smart. He asks usually closed-ended questions, pointed questions. If you let the patients talk, they will talk all nonsense, irrelevant. It will be something like a beating around the bush. So if you ask, okay, fever, how many days? 2 days or 3 days or 5 days? Multiple choice. They'll say 2 days. Otherwise, fever, how many days? It has been there for a few days. What do you mean by few days? Yes. Don't let them. And where is the pain? On the head. Okay, where? Instead of that one, point the question. Oh, headache? Left side, right side? Then they say right side. Is it throbbing? Is it a pricking? Or is it a stabbing? So give multiple choice. Then we will choose the right answer. So that is how efficiency. I am also like that. Sometimes open-ended. Most of the time, closed-ended. Multiple choice. Is this clear? Is this clear? If it is clear, put C. So time, money. Time is money. Thank you, Vajiranji. Time is money. Upcoming talks. Communication failure. Next Thursday. After that, illusions and delusions. Zoom link is same. Sankumar, I think that somebody has unmuted accidentally. So any questions? Now the time management. Now we have 17 minutes for Q&A session. You must have seen some people, they are giving the talk for 20 minutes. They may take 30 minutes. 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Have you seen me exceeding the time limit? If you have not seen me exceeding the time limit, put N in the chat box. Not even once, I think, I went beyond the time limit. If you have not seen, yes, no, thank you. No. And the number of slides also. The other day, one speaker for a 40-minute talk, not 40, 30-minute talk, she brought 78 slides. 78 slides for a 30-minute talk. When the organizers reminded around, when it was around 25 minutes, we have only 5 more minutes. She panicked. She started rushing through. She started skipping many slides. Did it serve the purpose? And I'm sure that Shanmu Rajeshwari, please in the chat box say, you must have seen in that 5 o'clock webinar, some speakers, they go beyond the time limit. Have you seen? If you have seen, yes, put Y in the chat box. Yes. I have seen. So I make sure that is always the number of slides. I have more than 100 slides on this topic. As I told you, I can give a talk on this topic for easily some 20 hours. Now, your questions. I welcome your questions, my dear friends.
Venu.
Oh, just hold on.
Venu, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. Yeah?
Hello?
Gomar, I can hear you.
See, last point which you made, I think I got a slight, the difference of opinion, because you, regarding the, history, because how many, patients average a US doctor examine a day, and how much time you usually give for a patient?
Okay, now I will repeat that
on average.
Yeah, I will repeat that one. You know, before I went to USA, I was in Trivandrum Medical College as a faculty, outpatient clinic from 8 to 10:30 or maximum 11 o'clock, 40 patients. 40 patients, OP is not a scheduled appointment. That means 40 patients in just 3 hours means you won't get more than 5 minutes. So I learned how to manage that one also. What did I do? Usually there will be some students. I used to delegate. I repeated delegation, delegation, delegation. I used to make the students record the blood pressure while the patients are. So when they record that saves time. Otherwise, I'll be doing the recording. And I used to dictate. I used to make somebody, okay, write this one. If I were to keep on writing and everything, that will take more time. And pointed questions only. I asked. When they, in Malayalam, I'm going to translate. എന്താണ് അസുഖം? പനി. എത്ര ദിവസമായി? കുറച്ച് ദിവസമായി. കുറച്ച് ദിവസം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ കുറെ നാളായി. How much time is wasted? Then I learned. പനി എത്ര ദിവസമായി? 2 ദിവസമായോ? 5 ദിവസമായോ? ഒരാഴ്ചയായോ? സാറേ അത് 2 ദിവസം. So like that. Here, in spite of the fact we get 30 minutes. Why 30 minutes? Documentation itself will take 10 minutes. In India, you don't have to worry about a lot of documentation. Here, documentation, because malpractice, that risk. Documentation takes 10 minutes. Then here also, most of the patients are poor communicators. They'll be very vague. And because of the multitasking, most of these doctors, the patient never gets the satisfaction. So they will ask a lot of questions. So in India, taking care of 40 patients, I was able to do that one. And in the other hospital, in corporate hospital where you work for some time, I'm not going to mention the name, Omar. That very same hospital, there's a neonatologist. You may be knowing that name also. I'm not going to repeat. He's not a Malayali. And when I couldn't believe, so that VSSC, that senior scientist, he sent me that schedule, that booking schedule, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes slot. He's very efficient. They're paying 700 rupees. It's not a small amount. I was really surprised. It is possible, doable. You have to be efficient. How you use your time, that is what going to decide. Okay, anybody else with some different question? Because we don't want to monopolize. Gomer, we can talk. We talk very often. When we talk about Gomer, you can ask. I'll be glad to give you more examples. Anybody else wants to ask a question? Dr. Tenny or Dr. Mohanlal, would you like to say something? Okay, Sanal Kumar, go ahead.
I have an opinion about Multitasking. Oh, sorry, one moment. Sorry, one moment.
There's some
I'll
echoing.
come back. I will mute on phone. Are you getting an echo?
No, now it is not there.
Okay. So the thing is, we the people in the profession, we have to do multitasking every day and every time, involved in more than 1 or 2 or 3 projects at a time. Otherwise, no survival. Okay, you are talking about, say, I saw some people talking to the others at the same time. They are watching movie, they are watching a mobile. In one mobile, they are talking to somebody else. So, can we say this is multitasking or multi activities at a time? Multitasking is something professional, I believe.
Yeah, multitasking is whenever there is some thinking involved. If there is some thinking involved, then if you try to do 2 things, you must read many books. There are plenty of books, especially on this multitasking. I gave a talk also on multitasking. You cannot, with your brain, if it is occupied with one thought, you cannot put another thought in the same place. It is something like holding a cup. Suppose your hand, imagine this is a mind. You're holding a cup. And unless you put that cup, you cannot hold another cup. It's an illusion. That's why I'm going to give that talk week after next, illusion and delusion. So multitasking is possible when I told you, when I'm eating, I don't have to think, I don't have to concentrate. How teach you, where to teach you, and all those things. At that time, I can talk to you, Sanil Kumar. If I talk to you, yeah, while I'm eating, I can talk to you. While I'm eating, I listen to you. I can do that. That is multitasking. Otherwise, when I'm cooking also, yeah, okay, I added, then it is boiling, then I don't have to sit and watch. It is boiling. It is boiling. Then turn that on, and I can do another activity also. So that is multitasking. This one is working, the other one is working. And another most important thing, this one, please, this is one of the most important things. Because whenever somebody says that a WhatsApp message, Dr. Reddiar, I would like to talk to you. Can I talk to you? Or what? I would like to talk to you. That's it. And what do I reply? Some people said that, oh, yes, you are welcome. Then that person may call you at a time which is inconvenient for you. They may call me. At that time, I may be doing something else. So I won't answer. And subsequently, I return the call. That person may be doing something else. So back and forth, phone tag. So that's what I do. I'm sure that some of you already know that. Those are here. I immediately talk to you. I said, okay, if you can, please call me. If that person is sending that message on Thursday, today. If you can, please call me on Friday or Saturday between 7 and 9 p.m. IST. Clear? Communications complete. They know, okay, 7 p.m. IST. That IST also, if I don't put, there is a confusion. 7 p.m., 9 p.m., is it American time or my time? Then again, back and forth, that will consume a lot of time. So that is what it is. Many people, tomorrow we'll meet next week. Next week, what? Monday through Saturday. When? So I usually ask them, next week, we have a particular day and particular time. Yeah, I think a Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday when? Evening. Evening in what time? Between 4 and 5 or 5 and 6? Oh, shall I call you between 4 and 5? Oh, no, not 4 and 5 because I have. What about 5 and 6? Oh, no, that day I'm busy. How much time is wasted? How do you know what is convenient for the other person? The simple one. This morning also, I attended a talk and Anthony Putanpurikal is here. That speaker, she sent me a message that she would like to talk to me. Then I sent her a message. Usually, evening between, because she's also in the USA, evening between 7 and 9 p.m., I'll be available. So I'm making it clear. That is how the communication again, incomplete communication, partial this one, consumes a lot of time. Okay, Teniji.
Hello, so you are told the importance of delegation that that is a very important point. But many a times we are not able to delegate the real works we are doing. Like, if for example, if the BP taking some chart writing, we can delegate. But the job we have to do itself, that consumes a lot of time. What is your opinion?
Yes, certain things you have to do. Where the patient wants you to see and not your assistant. They are paid to see you.
Yes.
That you cannot delegate to somebody else.
Yes.
There
Yes.
is that efficiency. That is where history taking. A good number of doctors are not at all good in taking the history. Once you get a good history, you don't order the unnecessary investigation. Simple, I'll tell you. Chest pain. I'll give a real example. I was working in another hospital and I was a faculty, but I was not in charge of the supervising the training of residents. And I was a substitute. I used to be a substitute. There's another doctor on Harrison. If he's on leave, maybe 1 or 2 days, those days I will have to go and supervise the residents. Other days, I'll be managing my clinic. So when that person was on leave, okay, I was assigned to supervise the resident. Okay, I was waiting there. And the resident comes and presents the case because I have to co-sign the note. Here everything malpractice issue. When they put the note, the decision, action, then discuss with the supervisor, and as a supervisor, I have to co-sign. That means I will be holding the responsibility, accountability. Got it, Dr. Terry? Because
yes.
So he told me about a patient with chest pain. And he said that I ordered the EKG. Here they don't say ECG, they say EKG. I ordered the EKG and that was abnormal. And so I ordered for the stress test, and that is scheduled next week, and another echocardiogram. And I said, okay, yeah, I would like to talk to the patient. Where is he? I asked him to go. So he has asked him to go. Then I told him, when? Oh, just to 5 minutes. Could you please make overhead announcement? He may not have reached that parking spot. If he is there, ask him to come back. So overhead announcement. That patient came within under 5 minutes. Then I asked him, simple questions. Could you please show me with one finger, where exactly do you feel the pain? And he touched below the axilla, armpit. That's also part of chest. It's also chest. Then I asked him, okay, do you feel the pain now? He said, no. Then I asked him, now I would like you to put pressure on the spot where you said that you felt pain. And he put the pressure and immediately winced. So when you touch and press, you feel the pain. Yes. It's clear. It is not from the heart. Because cardiac pain, it is not like that. This is a chest wall pain. Then I asked him, did you hit your chest? He said, I don't recall. Did you do any unused, unaccustomed activity? Yeah, the other day we were removing a lot of furniture from one room to another room, a sofa, a table and everything. So that might have hit him there. He didn't even remember. Because of not taking a good history, this doctor ordered a EKG, and EKG most of the time the machine reads. 80% of the machine reading it says abnormal. One of the wave it is slightly down or up, abnormal. Then this guy is ordered for the stress test, echocardiogram, how much time, money, everything is wasted. And I said, no, stop everything. Gave him a topical pain, the analgesic cream, and one of the painkillers for 3 days. You get it? That is what is efficiency, getting a good history. These days, many people, especially junior doctors, they don't know how to take a good history because they are on teachers. They don't know how to take a good history. They immediately order a battery of lab tests. When a patient comes with a fever, yeah, dengue fever, monkey fever, pingy fever, all those tests, 98% of the fever is caused by a virus which doesn't require any investigation. Am I right, NEG? Am I right? But what happens? They go to the hospital, doctor also orders, and 3,000 to 5,000 rupees, and the whole day they'll be sitting in the hospital for getting the lab results. And at the end, the lab results are all normal. Then 3,000 rupees gone. So will the patient be happy? No. So the doctor will unnecessarily prescribe an antibiotic. That's how they end up taking the antibiotic. Abuse, misuse is happening. Again, I repeat this. I have repeated a couple of times before. If you have got a fever, my dear friends, don't go to a hospital unless along with that fever, there are some symptoms so severe. If you get the fit, or if you lose consciousness, or you're not able to remember, then go to the hospital. Otherwise, just 2 or 3 days, within 2 or 3 days, just take rest, drink enough fluids, and eat either bread or kanji. And if the temperature is more than 100.5, take paracetamol tablet. That's all that is required. If you go to a hospital, 3,000 to 5,000 rupees, and the antibiotic, then antibiotic will cause some side effects, diarrhea, then you have to go for treatment of the side effects of the antibiotic. That is what is happening. Okay, now I'm going to stop the recording, but don't go away. We'll continue the discussion. Anyway, did you find this session very interesting? And the tips I shared with you, are they useful and practical? They're useful and practical. Put U and P in the chat box. Useful and practical. Okay, thank you. Krishna Arjuna, yes, thank you. Rajeshwari ji, thank you. I'm going to stop the recording.